This conference will now be recorded.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining me for this live pop-up session. Just going to jump right in and start talking about the markets. The S&P is down. All the indexes are down right now, but off their lows. When I went to sleep last night, the markets, all of them were down about 1%. Woke up, they were actually up a little bit. Now they're down. It's been some volatility, trying to figure out the market, trying to figure out which way it wants to go today. Seems a little stronger than I thought it would today, especially when we were on the call last night for the teaching webinar. That it were down about 1% at that point. So some of us was thinking it might be a pretty bloody red day today, but that's obviously not the case. The Nasdaq just went positive, and it looks like it's pretty strong. But I wouldn't be surprised if we're down, 0.5% or so today. The Nasdaq is way too strong. I think it needs to come off a little bit, but we will see. Looking at these positions, just want to go over it really quickly. This is a natural gas position that you've seen in this account before. It's up a decent amount today, and it's about 50% since I put this on. I was trying to previously take off the put side itself. It's about 7 days to go in this position. This put side was ready to come off, had it set up to come off. It never got filled, and then natural gas fell out of bed. So I had to add the call side here to adjust the put side a little bit. So now it's 7 days to go, and I'm looking to, if you go to this here, let me clear this. You can see that both sides are outside of the expected move. This ruler here on the TastyWorks platform is expected move with 7 days to go, but this position is not very much left in it. And if I take off one of these call sides, because it's made a decent amount since we put it on, and let me just show you what I'm talking about here. Since I had to adjust and put this call side on, it's up about 50%, a little over 50%. So I want to take one of those off and take this off, and it will reduce some of the risk and add some buying power. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to send that, and if I get filled, it's going to take about $107, and then you still have about about $290, $280 something dollars to still be made in the next 7 days on this position. Looking at this NASDAQ position really quickly, this is the 29 days to go. The call side was an issue, and it probably still is. Let's see. So the call side here is a 41. This was a rollout, so I'm going to keep it to 45, wait until 45, but I feel like the NASDAQ could go down today. The put side is pretty far away. It's only at 17, but as you notice, the market's been going up, especially this NASDAQ, but the put side hasn't lost its value as fast as you would like. It's 29 days ago, so hopefully that will come in. Jumping back over to this area here, looking at this RTY, this is a 29 days to go position as well, and it is looking at the call side. The call side is a 28 delta, so that's fine for right now. That's on the upper end of our yellow zone. 0 through 15 is green, 16 through 30 is yellow, and 31 above is red. So on this put side, we have a 23 delta, because the Russell been going down a little bit recently, but that still seems like a very good position at this point. Looking at this IWM, this is 29 days to go as well, and this right here is a 35 on the put side, and the call side is a 41. So all of that is okay. This was a rollout also. I probably adjust that call side a little bit, but I feel like the Russell could go more down today, so I'm going to let it just sit and let the probabilities play out. It's not a very wide spread. As you can see, this is only a 3-point wide spread, so it's only max loss is 300, and so it's not a lot to be lost. And the premium that I received because of rolling up and all that kind of stuff is I received $412 in premium. So this trade, this is a pretty good trade, just letting it come in. Now the QQQ is another story. It's one day to go. I failed to be able to look at this account to make an adjustment, but to this point, the whole process is up. It's up $2, but I've had to make some adjustments, but haven't made one in a second. So this has turned into basically a one-day type of trade. And what I'm doing is betting that the NASDAQ might go back down today, and I'm just going to let this play out. This is only a 3-point wide spread as well. If it doesn't go back down and get closer to this short leg here, then I will roll up this put side, and I would roll this put side up. I would do exactly something like this. I will buy that back, sell that, and then I will sell this one and keep it about 3 points wide. So I will buy this. So I will put it in a way that I'm minimizing my loss by putting both short strikes at the same strike. And this is a strategy I talk about in course 3, but this is just reducing your risk and kind of locking in a max type of loss that you can get based on this type of trade. And if I did this, I would get I would get about $36, $37 before fees and commissions back to minimize the loss. And if you can see here, by doing that, the most I can lose is 300. Once again, on this, by all the roll ups and so forth, I still have a decent amount of premium that I can still make. So I'm going to let that play out. And this USO, I'm trying to take ownership of the shares, but probably won't because this is not in the money anymore. But I'm waiting until this expires tomorrow, and then I would get 100% on that, as you can see right now. All right, so looking to last night, I was talking about doing some understanding how to adjust on the TastyWorks platform. And I wanted to point out one more thing that I was talking about last night. First thing I was saying is that if you're going to put on a spread, you want to put that spread on as making sure that you can easily adjust it on the options on futures. This is only talking about options on futures. So for example, on this one here, you want to, if I was going to sell this furthest at the money put, and if I wanted to do 100 points wide, I would go to the 2375. But I do not want to do 100 points wide because the volatility is over, or we're in risk mode right now because the volatility is high. So I would want to do 50 points wide spread, and but I can't do a 50-point wide spread here because it does not have the strikes, right? So I can go to, this is 25. Then if I try to go to another 25, they don't have that, right? So the most I can do here is 55, but you don't want to do that. You want to set this up so that you can easily adjust. So for example, you want to have a 20-point wide spread or a 40-point wide spread or a 60-point wide spread, because you can easily adjust as one in concert as one trade. So for example, if just for setup purposes, I had this 80 here and I had this 40 here. This is a 40-point wide spread. So I could, if I wanted to adjust this, I can buy this one back, sell that one, and then I can sell this one, and then buy this one. So now we have a 20-point wide on each spread, 20 here, 20 here, and 20 here. So I can easily adjust this on the TastyWorks platform using options on futures. And if I delete this really quickly, I can also, and I didn't point this out last night, I can also adjust this by moving the whole thing a little bit more, so 80 points wide. So for example, I can decide to sell here and buy here. So now you have 40 points here, 40 points here, and 40 points here. So you're moving your short leg 80 points. You're moving it here, right? So that's how you can do an in concert spread with the TastyWorks platform as well. So if you have something on that's already, let's say you already have something on that's 50 points wide, and let's see if we can, if we can, or even if you didn't have something on that's 50-point wide, let's say you had something on that was 55 points wide. Well, that wouldn't work here either because you don't have the fives. But if you had something on that's 50, you can go another 50. And let me show you here. This is 50 here. So for example, if I wanted to move this, I couldn't move it. I couldn't move this by I couldn't move this by 25 points because I do not have a 5 strike. It's no fives, it's going in 10, but I could move this by another 50 points. So for example, I can go, if I can get my cursor to work here. All right, so I can go to here and I can sell this one, and then I can buy this one. So now this is, and I'll show you this here. This is all 50 points wide from the spread. All right, so just make sure that when you're doing the TastyWorks platform options on futures, you want to set it up in a way going forward that you can adjust your position easily as a one transaction. If you want to just move it less than what the one transaction would do it, you can always take it off and then reestablish it. That's always an option, especially if you have the buying power to do it. But it's better to set it up in a way that you can adjust in concert initially, so you don't have to worry about it if you need to adjust really fast. All right, so let's look at putting on a trade. For some reason I was looking at this IWM this morning and going out 64 days, and I wanted to, this is options on stock, so I'm going to sell. I can sell between the 10 and the 15 delta, so I'm going to sell the nearest 15 delta, and then I just wanted to do small. Last night I was talking about positioning size and selling using only one contract to initiate. You can also obviously reduce your whiffs that I was talking about as well. So you want, for example, I'm just going to sell this right here, and this is my max loss is going to be 171 if I keep it at here, and this is how much you have to put up for buying power there, and this is the max loss. So I'm going to move this up here to like a 31 just in case the IWM goes down a little bit more today, and then I will send this, and this is going to still be more than 12%, and I'm going to send this and see if I get filled. And then I'm only going to play one side here. I'm trading very small. Play one side, betting that the Russell is not going to go down to too much more. And if it does, then great. But if it does, I'm still okay because this is really far away. And if it does, and it makes me have to adjust this one, then I will then add the call side to be able to adjust this one. But at this point, I'm not going to do that. All right, so let's. This is going to be a little quicker pop-up session, but I wanted to open it up for any questions. Do we have any questions regarding what I just talked about and adjusting with the TastyWorks platform on options on futures only? Options on stock you can adjust any way you want, just like you can on the Thinkorswim platform. Any questions to this point? All right, so if we don't have any questions, I just want to point out that tomorrow we have the trading floor. The trading floor is going to be starting at 8:30. We're going to do a day trade. We're going to fix some issues from this account and other people's account. We're going to share our screens. I encourage you to be on that. That's going to be between 8:30 and at least 10, maybe 11 a.m. So I'm going to send this. I'm going to actually add this recording today to YouTube. So if you want to see the recording, I will send you that link to the YouTube channel there. All right, so thanks everyone for joining for this quick little pop-up. If you have any issues and need some assistance later on, please contact me. Otherwise, I'll check in with you throughout the day. All right, thank you everyone. Talk to you soon.